So I'm just pulling out of my muddy driveway here. Boy, all this snow and all this plowing and grading, all this stuff I've been doing here has just made a mess of the driveway. You know, I had down it pretty good gravel at one time, but with all this work with the Bobcat and the tractor and stuff, it's made kind of a mess of it. I got the bottom fixed up fairly well, but right up by the house, just coming down the first hill, I got a lot of mud because I went off to the side a bit, leveled everything out, pushed all the snow out of the way. So it brought in a lot of the grass that was growing and the dirt that was there into the driveway. The flat part up top is pretty good gravel. We spread that around before the snow ever fell here, so it's not too bad. I've been kind of pondering a brand new tractor lately. You know, John Deere's got some really good deals here. I think with the exchange rates and everything that's going on, the 2017s are going to be a little cheaper than the older ones. So I looked at a couple. In a couple months here, there's the 2017s coming in. It's a little closer to the bottom end 3000 line I'm looking at. Four-wheel drive. You know, it's got the 3-point hitch, all this stuff on it. The front bucket on it, I believe this one that I was looking at, it doesn't just have a real quick detach bucket on the front end. The works are kind of bolted on. It's you know, a little bit more work and a few more bolts to actually get the bucket off the front of it. But I don't know that the bucket would really have to come off. Don't really need a set of forks for it or anything. I got that all covered. It's a tractor, in a four-wheel drive tractor that will go slow, not make a mess of things, get good traction on the hills. So once again, some good deals right now, I believe, coming. The other thing is 6-year warranty, 5 years no interest, so a person doesn't have to go and lay out all the cash on grabbing one of these things. You know, you can well, I was gonna pass a backhoe here, but turns out there's a car coming. That's not gonna work. So I'll just crawl down the highway a little bit here. But yeah, 60-month, 5-year, no interest. So if a person put a decent amount of cash down, it would be really low payments on a nice, shiny, brand new 4-wheel drive. And that would be kind of nice. There's an old tractor I've been looking at here for a couple months though. Had a hard time connecting with this gentleman. He's in and out of town. I'm in and out of town. I got a call from him 2 days ago here. And it's an old 1948 Ford Ferguson. And when I saw the pictures, I kind of fell in love with this thing because the tin work on it is beautiful. All the pieces are pretty much there. It doesn't have the right headlights on it. It's got some little pot headlights that somebody bolted on it sometime in the past. A couple other lights. I believe somebody changed it over to an alternator. When I was looking at it, I'm sure there's an alternator on there. In fact, yes, there is an alternator on there because there was a 12-volt battery under the hood as well. So it doesn't have the generator anymore. It's you know, just so clean and in such good shape. It's got a little bit of oil, you know, all over the engine, all over the transmission on it. It's a little dirty, but it's just in such good shape. It's not dripping anywhere. It fired right up really quick, idled really well. It's going to need a proper muffler on it, new muffler. The system that's on it is a little hokey. It kind of runs down the side, and it's all a little bit screwy. But it's just too good. Tires are really good. They're not weather checked. When he started it, okay, here's my opportunity to pass this backhoe. When he started it up, there was no puffs of blue. It didn't choke or, you know, it didn't sputter trying to get running. It idled really, really well. Seemed to run really, really solid. he had receipts for 2006 when the engine was done. They did the head on it. They, I believe, bored the pistons. Some lower end work was done. It is a 4-cylinder Vauxhall engine that's in it. It's not real big, not a lot of horsepower, but it's in really good shape. And it's very cool looking. Right now it's got a whole bunch of framework on it. Somebody built a rollover protection system on it, a big ROP system. There's a blade on the back attached to the 3-point hitch, and there's a big PTO German winch on the back of it right now. The kid I bought it from here, he couldn't find the gear to go onto the winch or the drive chain or anything. I told him not to worry about it too much because I'm probably unbolting all that stuff anyways. I don't really want this big ROPS cage on it. Somebody had used this for skidding logs, I'm sure, because there's a mount bracket on the back that you can slide a chainsaw bar into, hold your chainsaw up. So between that, the winch, the heavy-duty roll cage, and the little shelter that they built over top to keep the rain off, somebody was definitely logging with this thing. It was an older gentleman that owned it prior. It was this young lad's grandfather who owned it, and he's got a piece of property that backs onto a mountain. So I'm guessing that it probably wasn't a hard-working tractor. I'm thinking he built this to skid the logs down off his own property down to the house to cut for firewood and, you know, just maintain himself. So it's not abused by no means. It's in really, really good shape. I'm not sure how long the old guy had it for, but I'm going to bet probably quite a long time because somebody looked after it. You know, a lot of the ones that I've gone to look at over the last few months have been very beat up and abused and just had the living crap driven out of them. I mean, you can tell just by looking at it. You know, there was one other one that I was really interested in. It looked really good. The hood was missing off of it. The grill cover was missing. It ran, but it was just blowing oil out of the exhaust pipe like unreal when the guy started it. You know, it needed a complete tear down just to even run. This thing would have left pools of oil all over the place. Whenever you started it to try and let it idle, wherever that exhaust pipe was sitting, there was going to be a bunch of oil blasted all over the place. And you know, I don't want something like that. And I really don't want to get into the project of rebuilding something like that right now because I got too many other things on the go. And I can't let something like a tractor take priority. By being patient and waiting and keeping my eyes open, I stumbled across this Ford Ferguson. And yeah, it's very cool. So I'm on my way out right now. I've already paid the guy for it. Got the bill of sale. What I'm doing is going over to pick up my father and take him out for an afternoon out with me to go meet the tow truck and get this thing. I don't have a vehicle big enough to haul a trailer and pull this thing. There's a few good hills on the highway coming out to my place. I don't want to put my car through that much work. It's not worth it. You know, I don't have a big flat deck trailer. I called the place here and I could rent one, $85 for the day. I can get the tow truck for about $150. You know, let's let this guy do it. This is another one of those things. It's his job. He's got the right equipment. We can get it up on the big flat deck. We can tie it down appropriately, run it out to my driveway, unload it, done deal. No issues. It's just simpler. It's worth the money. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing. Heading into town and getting my dad going to pick up the new tractor. So we'll catch some footage there maybe when we're loading it up, when I drive up to it. And we'll do a really good look at this thing when I get back to the house. I don't even know how to start it right now. The young lad showed me what he was doing to get it running and make it move and everything. I mean, I know the brakes on one side, the clutch is on the other side there. There's a key for it for sure. The button was kind of hidden up under the instrument panel somewhere. I'll check all this stuff out when I get there. And we'll get her figured. So yeah, that's it for now. Just getting into town and be out there soon.